What if your connection to the spirit world was closer than you think? What if your unique way of seeing the world is the key to connecting the two worlds? Welcome to a Sanctuary for the Soul podcast. Join us as we delve into the heart of spiritual development, from the practical guidance and mediumship to the best way to live a heart-based life.
We are here to facilitate healing, awaken your intuition, and help you navigate your path with confidence. Speaking from our own deep journeys, we've learned to experience the world and the spirit world with a unique sensitivity. This is our space to share that perspective with you. Let's explore the connection together. Welcome back, everybody.
Hello.
How's your day been, Andy?
Not been too bad. It's not been too bad. We're on the slippery slope towards winter now. And having an outdoor job at this time of year it's nice when it's just like a dry, frosty morning and everything looks nice and the trees have dropped the leaves. But when it's a bit misty and maybe a bit wet and rainy, you kind of think, I wish I had an indoors job. Yeah, but it's not been too bad. How about you? How's your day been?
Yes, it's been good. It's been nice. I went and ran a session for a lovely friend of mine.
Yeah.
Which brings me to the subject area of
Oh,
today. Actually.
running sessions with friends?
No, authentic connection.
Oh my goodness.
What does that mean to you? Authentic connection, relational. Yeah.
Answers on a postcard?
Hmm.
Am I allowed to Google?
Yeah, you could Google or
All right, let me just Google.
chat G. I always get it wrong. What is it? Chat GPT.
Chat GPT.
Yeah.
You were going to say Jat GPT? The knockoff version. Chat GPT.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was the question? Authentic
So,
connection.
authentic connection. Yeah.
Well, it depends. I mean, we could talk about authentic professional connections, as
Yeah.
in like someone being a purveyor of some sort of skill or a teacher of something. We can talk about authentic friendship connection. What perspective are you thinking?
Yeah. Well, I think any relational experience where
Translate that into English.
okay, so any relationship we have in life, so whether that
Yes.
is a professional connection,
Yeah.
or someone we're related to, or a friendship, or client practitioner, yeah, whichever remit that falls into, I think feeling that there is an authentic connection is what makes it enjoyable.
Okay. The kind of one word that comes to mind, just as talking about that, I think is to use the word supportive.
Yeah.
To use the word supportive, I kind of think that it's one thing sharing a skill with someone, and you could say, I don't know, teach me quantum theory, and that's fine. And they can say, okay, this is what you need to know. That is sharing a skill. Doesn't necessarily mean it's supportive. But I guess if you're talking about an authentic connection, for me, it's that feeling of connection and kind of there's just something. There's almost like an X factor, isn't there?
Yeah.
So we're not talking the TV show. We're talking about there is like a secret ingredient. I think that makes you feel that it's an experience that you would like to continue with. It is fulfilling in some way. It makes you feel valued. Um, but supportive seems to be the strongest word that comes into my mind. But it depends on how you see it, really. What would you say in to answer the same question? Really, what is an authentic connection, Liz?
Well, I would follow on from what you've said, and it made me think about the fact it's for me very much a felt experience.
Okay.
So there's a feeling of ease or joy or comfort. And I think that links in with what you were saying about support, that it feels supportive.
Yeah. Mm.
Um, because not every interaction and not every relationship is, authentic or flows authentically. And I, I suppose I'm interested in why that doesn't always happen. Um, and when I think about myself, when I'm, not in an authentic connection with somebody or relational experience with somebody, it's often because I'm putting up some sort of protective mask or front, or um, I'm not letting them see the real me for some reason.
Yeah.
And I think that when that happens to us, when we're building relationships, it almost leaves you just feeling it's like being out in the cold, isn't it?
Hmm. Is
If you
it?
can't feel the true nature of the person that you're talking to,
I
or
think for me, I've got to say, from my perspective, the sense of the connection is pretty instantaneous. For me, I will judge it and have a very, very strong idea energetically within moments.
me
I
too.
I don't think it takes more than a minute or so, and I've then thought, hmm, yes, no, maybe,
Mm.
somewhere in between. So it's a very in my world, I would kind of say it's a very intuitive. It's a knowing straight away.
Yeah.
So it is just that sense that, "Do you know what, that's a person I could get on with." You like the cut of their jib, you like their vibe. There's just something
Mm.
about them that makes you go, "Don't know why I would really get on with that person, but I know I will."
That's interesting then. So
How
what we're
come?
really saying here is authentic connection is also to do with energy.
Completely.
Yeah.
We're big old balls of energy. That's all humans are, aren't they?
Mm.
And as soon as you meet someone, you have this instant reaction to their energy. Forget that they're called Andy or Liz. How does the energy of this person speak to the energy of this person?
Yeah.
And it will happen, and it's transmitting on a subconscious that then filters into the conscious. I think, because if you were in a room of a dozen people
Yeah.
and you had to say, you weren't allowed to speak to them, but you just had to sit within their presence for
Yeah.
5 minutes and then write down your reflections, I bet you could write down some really quite accurate observations that could be, verified or validated by that person, just by sitting in their energy and just thinking how you feel,
Mm.
as when you're in their space.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you realize that you don't really vibe with someone, that's not like a personal slight against them, but energetically, we're all different. And
Yeah.
there's going to be some people you're going to really want to just give a hug to, and others you're going to just a bit of a nod from a distance.
Yeah. So when we're talking about authentic connection
Yeah.
and the energetic impact,
Mm.
how can we explain that then? Because for me, it comes back to it's just a feeling. It's a knowing. Um, is it that some people are, I don't know, more in their hearts, and that's why I feel that sense of comfort?
Um,
Or
I
Is it
think,
the past experience that they're holding in their energy? What do you think?
well, I mean, energetically, all of their emotions are going to be within their energy field, you
Yeah.
know. So they will certainly on first meeting, they will be withholding verbally,
Mm.
and they will be what's the word when you're kind of you're filtering it out? What word am I looking for, Liz? There will be
Containing?
kind of contain it. It's more like when you're being selective about what you share.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so you'll be very selective and very mindful of what you're saying when it's a verbal conversation, but energetically, you can't stop your energy from merging and from being within someone else's.
No.
And so you're going to feel the kind of like the essence of that person. And it may trigger you because if you feel the essence of that person and you suddenly get this experience that takes you to something that's happened in your own life. So there's a reflective aspect of their energy where you think to yourself, I recognize that energy. That
Yes.
that energy feels like this person in my life, and that could be good or bad. Um, because a really outgoing person feels a certain kind of way, yeah. And I think if you're in the presence of someone else that's very much of that energy, they are going to feel a similar way. And if you've had connections with people that have been, let's say, controlling or really needy or too introverted or too extroverted, you're going to feel that, and your body is going to be saying to you, yeah, I need to sort of a little alarm bell is going off and it's saying
Yeah.
something's not quite right here. You need to have a
Yes.
think about this before, you go any further. And and I guess it raises a question that maybe you'd like to answer. And that is, do we go with the logical mind that says, well, this person could perform a task that will enhance my life. However, I don't like the feel of their energy. So which voice
Yeah.
do you listen to?
Mm.
So over to you. What do you
Yeah,
say?
I absolutely loved that explanation that you just gave.
Course you did. It's
Yeah,
wisdom in it. It's flowing out of me.
because that
Wisdom
is
everywhere.
that I yeah, you've put words so nicely to my experience of it that I will recognize through the felt sense energetically something within somebody's emotional energy field that I have previously met before. And there's like a wee wee alarm that goes off of, yeah, this is not to be repeated.
Mm,
And I think what can be difficult, or it can work the other way as well, where it's like joyful. Like
yeah.
I recognize that and I absolutely love that experience in another person. And I think you're right. Do we listen to that or, or not? But also I think, and I'm sure other people will agree that there's times where we think, that, why am I feeling that? Is that real?
Mm,
Is that really why it doesn't feel like a good connection for me? Or am I imagining that? And I think that can be the tricky part of trusting that knowing. Um, and I would say that for me has really strengthened in the last couple of years.
okay.
Before that, I would always override the trusting the knowing with some sort of, oh no,
Yeah.
it's just your imagination.
So you've tried to sort of, override the intuition by using rationale.
Yes, but I don't anymore.
No, I was then going to say, uh, I've never really been one to, veer very far away from intuition.
Mm.
So sometimes it seems like I'm being really opinionated because someone will say, "Oh, they were really lovely, weren't they?" And I'm like, hmm. And they're like, "Well, what's the matter with them?" I don't know, I just don't get a good vibe. And they're like, "You literally haven't spoken to them." Yeah, I know, but I just don't get a good vibe.
Mm.
And look, without blowing my own trumpet because I don't have a trumpet on me, um, I'm not usually wrong.
No.
So what does it say? Now that isn't like, look at me, he's never wrong. Now, then I very much doubt. I can't think of an occasion where I've been wrong. But
Ever in your lifetime or
maybe once in my lifetime when I was really young or something, but not now. I've all become ever so wise and stuff. Um, no, of course I've been wrong, but I think there's something about our makeup that if we think about ourselves not as a human, not as this intelligent species, but if we think of ourselves in this more basic sense of we're a living animal organism that is experiencing life in an environment that
mm,
could be potentially hazardous.
mm,
Okay, yes, we live in nice, neatly packaged lives. We have houses, we have cars, we have money, we have this, we have that, we have the other, but let's go back in time prior to having a language. How did we know we're going to be safe?
yeah,
The answer is we would use what we may call now intuition. I would say then it is your inbuilt safety radar. It is just like
yeah.
saying, don't go left, don't go left. And then you're thinking, oh, I just think I'll go left. And
Mm,
then round to the left is a big line that eats you.
mm. Yeah,
And you're like,
absolutely.
oh, well, that's why he said don't go left. There's
Yeah.
this, there's, your energy's going out into the world around you, isn't it?
Yeah, it
And it's
is.
going out and it's touching things and it's bringing signals back to you that are saying,
Mm,
this isn't good. Go the other direction.
mm.
I think get into the intuitive heart, get out of the logical mind, and it will guide you. It might not
Yes.
necessarily guide you for the most financial success, but it will guide you in a way. I almost think there is like this little voice upon your shoulder that kind of says to you, you need to go left, you need to
Mm.
turn right. And it's when we
Yeah.
ignore it, I kind of think that's the bit where you go, oh, damn, should have
So
gone left.
so for people listening, I'm
Yes.
already imagining the questions they might have.
Oh,
And I'm just thinking about what you were just saying. Now, would you describe that knowing
hmm,
when we're considering an authentic connection or
yep.
an authentic and enriching relational experience? Would you consider, I love it when I add these special words now,
You've been
uh,
like digesting a dictionary or something.
a thesaurus.
A dinosaurus, a
Um,
thesaurus.
would you say it's gut instinct? Would you say it's a guiding principle, or would you say it's the soul?
It's not a guiding principle because a guiding principle would be something that is learnt. I would
Right.
absolutely say it's a gut instinct, but I would say that your soul is part of that gut instinct. So who
Yeah.
you are, your consciousness is the
Mm.
cloud. Let's
Yeah.
use a modern day analogy. Your consciousness is the cloud.
Yes.
Your soul is an upload
Mm.
that goes to the cloud.
Yeah.
That is it. And within that upload is the sensations that feed the experience,
Mm.
i.e.,
Beautiful.
i.e., I am now using my gut instinct to upload information to this consciousness
Mm.
that is giving me this more enriched experience. And it is
Mm.
it is this continuation of becoming something greater, becoming more conscious, becoming more aware.
Mm.
And for me, we're just doing this whole transmitter receiver
Mm.
process.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're
Um.
transmitting feelings, you're receiving them, and then
Yes.
you're going, he's a good egg. I should do a
Yeah.
podcast with him.
Yeah.
So you're transmitting that to me. I'm receiving it and going, do you know what? That's a good idea.
Because we quite often know, don't we, within
Yep.
moments, a flavour of how the other is feeling,
When you said flavor, I was just thinking cake then. Flavor. Don't
and
use the word flavor without food.
that can't be
What's that?
just the expression on the face, can it?
What was the question?
Quite often, within
Yep.
moments, you and I know how the other is feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a very, I think it's a very natural way of being. Obviously, humans are very, very good at, reading facial clues and body
Yes.
language because it's part of how we are, isn't it? If you
But there's more, isn't there?
yeah, if you bare your teeth at a dog, the dog knows that that means something because
Yeah.
it's a gesture, isn't it? And it's a facial thing that makes them go, oh, hang on, maybe they're not happy. They're showing me their teeth, or whatever.
Mm.
Now,
Yeah.
but I think just in the same way that we could use oh, I was just thinking about you, and then you text me.
Yes.
How many times, I bet you everyone that listens to this podcast or watches it
Yeah.
will have had numerous occasions where the person they were thinking about then rings them or texts them or sends them a message, something like that. Right. So we're kind of saying to us, or what I'm kind of sort of thinking out loud really is that as you're sending that thought
Yes.
into that consciousness around you, you're putting some love with it, or you're putting
Yeah.
some positive energy with it,
Yeah.
and you're directing it to the person that you're having that thought about.
Mm.
And I think if they're in a receptive state, they will perceive that thought
Yeah.
and then they think, oh, I need to give him or her a ring,
Yeah.
and whatever. And and I think there are those quote coincidences that
Mm.
happen quite a lot, but are
Yeah.
they really coincidences, or is it just I'm perceiving your thought and hey presto, in comes a text or whatever?
And so it's no different, is it, when we're thinking about authentic connection, because you are receiving that experience of another person.
Yeah, completely.
Mm.
So what is authentic? For me, it's energetic, it's emotional. All
Yes,
right.
and me.
What is authentic for me is something that feels right.
Yes.
There it is. There's the description.
Yeah.
An authentic connection is a connection that feels right.
Yeah.
So when the energy changes, the authenticity can change.
Yeah.
And so it's why
And maybe that's why the energy does change.
I think so. And I
Mm.
think that's why it can't be a cognitive decision. Oh, they are Mr. This or Dr. That. Therefore, that must be an authentic connection. That's just a title.
Yes.
It's not something that is inherent within me. you know, um, a title or whatever. It's just a label, isn't it? It's another way of describing you. But actually, what is true, what is kind of like permanent, is the essence of you as an
Yeah.
energetic spiritual being, and
Mm.
that is what I'm judging.
Mm.
There's
That's
the
what we're
authenticity.
feeling. Yeah.
You're doing it, aren't you?
And so if the feeling doesn't match what we're experiencing, for me,
Mm.
that's when it's inauthentic, and that's
Yeah,
when I feel a discomfort.
yeah.
Um, so it's about the felt experience matching what the eyes, or the what is being presented.
Yeah, so it's like someone coming up to you and saying, I don't like introductions, to strangers. They make me feel uncomfortable. But someone comes up and says, "Oh, how are you? It's really lovely to meet you." And my inner voice is going, "You do not actually mean anything you're saying."
You're sounding like Jack Whitehall's dad now.
Yes. No, I bet we better not go into that. But do you see what I mean? But what I
Yes, I
mean is
do.
is when someone says, they go, "Oh, hi, how are you? Oh, it's so nice to meet you." And I think, you're not actually meaning what you're saying. I can feel what you actually mean.
Yes, and it's uncomfortable.
It is uncomfortable because I'm sitting there and going, you don't mean it at all.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't I can't help it. I am doing that. If you are not projecting the energy that your
Yes.
words are saying,
Yes.
I will know.
Yeah. I think we beautifully, if I do say so myself, summed up what authentic connection is.
It
And
is.
yeah.
So don't lie because we'll know. We will know. Like a parent knows when the child is telling fibs. We will know. We will be using the Force. Just like Luke Skywalker, we will be using the Force.
Indeed.
It's like a Jedi mind trick. Those of you that are
Brilliant.
not interested in Star Wars, you will have no idea what I'm just talking about. But yeah, I think
Mm.
it's an interesting subject. So
Yeah. Yeah, I've enjoyed that chat.
I have.
And it's sort of given a real context to, what I was thinking about. Yeah. Yeah, it's been good.
So, moral of the story, guys: be authentic
Yes.
and like cakes.
Yeah.
That's good. Shall we finish it there?
Yes. And, if there's anything that anybody would really like us to discuss, then just let us know.
Yeah, favorite cakes, whether you dunk your biscuit into your cup of tea or coffee, what you like for pudding, anything like that, sweet treats. But
Anything
no,
sugary for you,
anything
isn't it?
sugary, yeah.
Yeah.
Not as if I need to be more like hyped up, with like sugar or anything, but there you go. Makes me feel
Yeah.
better. So yeah, guys, joking aside, we'd love to hear from you. So please do comment and share our weirdness with others. You know you want to.
And thank you for listening.
Yes, that too. Thank you for
Mhm.
listening. Bye.